What would have been an exciting win end up a very disappointing loss. You can give us a shout, 859-280-2287. What do you say? That's a brutal loss, one that it's gonna hurt Kentucky come the seed line. Not so much because of tonight, but because you've now lost a number of these kind of games over the course of the season. And our dreams of having a top 4 seed are probably, if not gone, they're on life support. And, it looks more and more like Kentucky's back to not having a double bye in the SEC tournament. And maybe just more frustratingly, back to losing. I watched the game at KS Bar with Ryan and Drew. We had a packed house. This fan base wants this team to be good so bad. This fan base loves this team so much and wants them to be good so bad. And that's why it is so frustrating to watch them lose these games. You had 2 really special performances, honestly. Antonio Reeves had 25 points in 24 minutes and was great. Scored his 1,000th point at Kentucky. And then the last 10 minutes for Rob Dillingham, he had 21 and was just absolutely special. I mean, he was amazing in the last 10 minutes. So you have these 2 singularly really great performances, and yet you still lose. And I feel like that's sort of been emblematic of this season, which is you got these players that everybody likes, and you got this talent that is like otherworldly talent in some ways, and yet you go lose to a 500 team that probably missed 6 layups and 6-7 free throws. Like, they could have beaten us by more. I mean, I was very disappointed when we lost, but in some ways we would have stolen it if we had won, because we were so bad in the second half defensively that we kind of didn't deserve to win. Gave up 48 points in the second half to a team that's not even good. And it's frustrating. I'm not going to lie. I mean, look on social media, there's a lot of chatter about various stuff. The 3 or 4 things that I think matter most. First of all, the end. It'll get lost in the shuffle, but Dillingham was amazing in those last few minutes. I mean, the way he got to the basket, the and one is one of the craziest shots I've ever seen. The final shot he hit was awesome. I mean, to be really good, you got to have a dude that can do that, and he can do it. I mean, I wanted him to take that final shot, and he made it. I saw some stuff online that people said he went too early. I vehemently disagree with that. I mean, we were losing. Okay, if the game is tied, then you don't go for it until there's about 5 or 6 seconds left. So you either win or the game's over. But when you're losing, you have to go for it earlier, because if you miss, then you still have another chance, because you can foul them. And, LSU had missed a lot of free throws. But even if they make them, you have the ball up 3, and you're still in the game. If you wait till 5 seconds left and you miss, the game's over. So you got to go. Now, he made it, but then they did everything. I mean, the LSU shot's luck. I mean, that's luck. Now, it's bad luck, but it's luck. Like, Adu blocked the shot. The guy made a great play if you watch the replay. He gets his shot blocked, catches it, and while he's falling out of bounds, passes it back in. I'm not sure there was much UK could do about that. But I think the decision to go for it early was the right one. Dillingham made it. It just didn't work out. But you lost the game because you had a 15-point lead in the second half and you gave it up in 5 minutes of game action. That's why you lost. You gave it up in 5 minutes of game. We went from up 15 to down 2 from the 18-minute mark in the second half to the 12-minute mark, so 6 minutes. That's why you lost. And, Kentucky is too good to be doing this stuff. We've lost 8 games this year. We have led in the second half in 7 of those 8 games. This is Kentucky. You can't keep losing like this. And, in a lot of these other games, I've had specific disagreements with something Cal did or whatever. Tonight, my disagreement is just more big picture. Like, we can't keep losing these games. We just can't. I mean, they got too many good dudes to not be more successful. And Dillingham and Reeves had great offensive games. Adu played pretty well defensively, but we got too many guys out there who, just can't do anything during these games. And then they play big minutes. I mean, I like DJ Wagner. I think he's had a lot of good games. I think he'll have more good games, but he played too much tonight. He was not good, and they just kept putting him out there. And, he played 21 minutes. He was 0 for 5, 0 for 2 from 3. He got beat defensively. Just too many minutes, right? I mean, Ugo played 32 minutes, and he had 2 points. You're the top. Like, they have nobody your height, and you play 32 minutes, and you have 2 points. It's just disappointing. It's disappointing to watch. LSU is one of the worst teams in the country at giving up threes. We shoot 40%, but we only take 20. Reeves only takes 1 or 2 shots in the last 12 minutes of the game. We just make bad decisions. And then when it's over, Cal says, well, we lost because of 50-50 balls. I mean, no, we lost because we gave up a 15-point lead on the road to a team that's not very good. And there was a sequence when I was sitting there. You all may remember this. I think we were up 11, and LSU shot an air ball. And one of our guys, I'm not sure which one, caught it and then dropped it. LSU got it, kicked it out, hit a 3, and it was 8. And I said to Ryan, I was like, that's a key play in the game. That kept them in this game. And then I think they scored 6 or 7 points in about a minute, and it was close. So, I'm like a lot of y'all. I'm just tired of losing these games. I mean, it is unfortunate. We're now very likely to be the 5th or 6th seed in the SEC tournament, and I'm just kind of tired of watching the team lose these games. And then when it's over, this isn't the biggest deal in the world, but it is a deal. Cal takes 2 questions and leaves with, according to the reporters there, multiple hands up. He's a sore loser now, unfortunately. And he didn't used to be like that. He did not used to be like that. But, when they won Saturday, he came in, talked a lot of trash. He came in, said, say I'm the worst coach in the world. He came in, talked about all the all-stars, etc. Well, I was okay with it. I'm all right with that. I like that. That's what we like about it. But you can't do that and then lose and say, hey, I can just take a couple questions. We got an early game Saturday. The game is at 4 p.m. And to saving those 10 minutes, you think that's going to really show itself against Alabama Saturday? That is just not facing the music when things don't go your way. And he's better than that. He is better than that. He didn't used to do that. And that's why, and I've said this multiple times, you'll probably hear me say it again, this whole thing comes down to March. This team can beat anybody. They just beat Auburn, one of the best teams in the country, on their floor and dominated from start to finish. And we just lost to a mediocre LSU team that will host someone in the NIT and lose in the first round at home to, Richmond. And we just lost. That's this season. So it's going to come down to March. And it's going to come down to these games that are going to be coin flips against teams that we should be a lot better than. You may have heard me on the show say, right now in the tournament we play Seton Hall. Let's say we played Seton Hall. We are going to be infinitely better than Seton Hall, and we might beat them by 20, and we might lose by 10, and we have no idea. And this team is too good for that. And then if they beat Seton Hall, we might play Duke, and we could lose by 20 or win by 15. And we're too good for that. We are too good for the situation we're in. And I think that is ultimately, it's what frustrates me, and I'm sure it's what frustrates a lot of you.